The Bankroll playbook is the most important module in this course. It's the key difference between those who blow their accounts and those who stay in the long run. This is everything we will be covering in this video, and now let's start off with the 4 core rules of betting like a pro. Rule number 1, never do parlays. So a parlay is when you combine 2 or more bets into one slip for higher odds. It's pretty fun to do, but it's one of the sportsbook's biggest tricks to make bettors lose money. They just need you to win one parlay, get hooked on that thrill, and before you know it, you're mindlessly losing money chasing the next big win. Even if you go on a hot streak, parlays are not profitable in the long run. Keep it simple. Books love when you bet parlays, so don't give them what they want. Rule number 2, avoid betting on low odds. This rule doesn't apply as much to professionals who create their own numbers and find value, but 99% of the bettors online, it's a key mistake. Without a real edge in the market, you're likely to lose more games than you win, making it much harder for you to recover from losses. Sure, betting on low odds might give you a higher win rate, but there's a big difference between a high win rate and a profitable win rate. And that's what we'll explain next. As you can see in this table, the lower your average odds, the higher your win rate needs to be to make a profit. For example, if you're always betting on games with 1.5 odds, you'd need to maintain a 70% win rate to stay profitable, which is very hard, even with those odds. Now, if you're averaging 1.9 odds, you could make nearly 3 times more profit with just a 60% win rate. Rule number 3, aim for a maximum of 3 games a day. Again, this is advice which is mainly for recreational bettors or beginners who are still testing things out. It worked well for me when I started out, and the idea is that by being selective and keeping the volume low, it becomes harder for the sportsbook's edge to catch up on you. Think of it like playing poker, right? The quicker you make your money and leave, the better, because the longer you stay on the table, the more opportunities there is for other people to take your money. And the same applies here. Now, whether you're following your own strategy or blindly tailing a capper or model or system or whatever it is, you'd always need to ask yourself this one question. Will you really stay committed and consistent with the strategy in the long run? Because cold streaks happen. No matter how good your strategy is, even if it's the best strategy in the world, with enough sample size, you will go on a cold streak, and this could include losing 6 games in a row, maybe even more. It's tough, and it can be discouraging, but you have to push through. This is probably the hardest part of sports betting, because for the most part, it feels like you're taking this leap of faith. You're trusting your strategy or capper or whoever, and you're hoping that your loyalty will pay off, and honestly, sometimes it doesn't. And that's why managing your bankroll is super important, because it mitigates that risk. It lowers the risk of you burning through your account, even if you somehow ended up following a bad strategy. So just to be clear here again, you have a 0% chance of becoming a profitable bettor without managing your bankroll. Now, managing your bankroll is where most bettors lose all their money and burn through their accounts. So let's dive into bankroll management, and it's actually super simple. It's just 2 really easy steps. Step number 1, you set your bankroll. You do this by setting aside money that meets the criteria I have on the slide, and this is the most important decision you will be making as a sports bettor. If you're a beginner, I actually strongly suggest that you start with a low or as low a bankroll as possible, because you're still testing out the waters, you're seeing how this goes, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. So yeah, don't rush it and start slow. Step number 2, choose your unit size. Now, a unit is a percentage of your bankroll that you'll be betting on in every game. Take a look at this chart here and see what unit size would work best for you. 5% is super risky, and I don't recommend it if you're a beginner or testing out a new strategy or handicapper. 1% is the safest, as you'd need to lose around 100 games, you'd need to lose 100 games in a row to quickly burn your account. A good rule of thumb is to consider how many games you average per day in a month. So for example, if your strategy involves averaging 10 to 15 games a day, then betting with a 5% or even 2.5% unit size would be way too risky. Like, you'd be better off just sticking to 1%. So again, sum it all up. Step number 1, set your bankroll, which is money you can live without and pretend like it's gone. So in this example, it's $2,000. And step number 2, set your unit size, which in this example is 5% of the bankroll. I always push betting the same amount on every game because it just keeps things simple. Go for good odds, win more games than you lose. Just like that, you'll be profitable with a good strategy. Also, to be realistic here, only those guys with a proven mathematical edge or who can accurately assess probabilities, they're the ones who can mess around with their unit size. And these people often use advanced strategies like the Kelly criterion, which you can read about if you click on the module link below. Module hub linked below. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Okay, so now when to scale your unit size is very subjective and varies for everyone. One thing I can say for sure though is not to rush it, because you never really know which month you'll go on a really bad run or end in the negative. Upping my unit size too rapidly was the biggest mistake I made last year, and I lost tens of thousands of dollars because of it, as you can see here. Personally, I think the best approach is to go season by season so that your tracking and profits consistently reflects a full season of a sport, you know? But yeah, that covers everything you need to know about bankroll management. And in the next module, I'll go over some cool apps and tools to help you make picks and track all your bets. So see you then.